Then Worm Queen from Warframe, which is just the Grineer leader.
Mm-hmm.
And then Echidna. Now, for your characters. Thomas the Train Spinosaurus. George Washington is a Boomafoo. Michael Myers and Swiper. Henry J. Waternoose and Sonic. Bowler Hat Guy and Giant Scorpion. Cthulhu and John Cena. They wake on a rusted platform, ringed by broken rail lines and flooded catwalks. Far below, Titan's black methane sea churns underneath storms. Distant sirens moan from abandoned oncology towers. In the center, Golden Age supply circle. Pressure-sealed crates, old Titan dive gear, industrial tools, jerry-rigged firearms, enough shock batons, auction canisters, flare guns, and a few exotic power cells that supercharge tanks in minutes. Iron Man immediately looks for power cells. Nef Anyo clings to him like sales pitch with legs. Subject Other grabs auction tanks with a heavy rivet gun. Murray stays close, trying not to look at the sea. If you look up Nef Anyo, he has like a beard. That's like a fucking advertisement.
He looks stupid.
I know. He has a fucking electronic beard.
He's like in something, or is that his body?
I think that's his like suit.
Weird.
Okabe grabs a radio map tube and Dale pockets anything labeled government. Cthulhu lumbers towards the biggest crate like it owes him rent. John Cena grabs coil of Titan cable and stun baton. He lumbers towards the largest crate like it owes him rent. What is that supposed to mean?
Yeah. Cthulhu.
It's fucking Cthulhu.
Yeah. Towards a crate.
Oh, just Jojo walk towards a crate.
Yeah.
Michael Myers doesn't scramble. He walks. Swiper darts, stealing straps, belts, and a crucial oxygen regulator from a nearby bag. Thomas whistles an awful echoing sound and rolls onto the nearest track spur. Spinosaurus stomps beside him, confused. Morale.
Yeah.
What? Did you add morale?
No? Oh, I thought you said morale. I did not.
M-O-E. It says morale, not here this time. Instead, Worm Queen the Echidna. What the fuck?
Okay.
Okay. That's,
Weird.
let me read some more, because I think it's getting fucked up with one of the other ones.
Yeah.
I'm adding Far Cry characters. That's why it's fucking it up. Whatever. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it also says Cassandra at some point.
I see.
I saw it before my eye.
That sucks.
It's not. I think it's just like, oh, I think it corrects its own mistakes. I think it notices it.
They're not here. It just says it for no reason.
Thomas Rams. What the heck? Oh, what the fuck? Thomas Wheels shriek on a switch as he tries to claim track that leads into the archaeology's lower maintenance routes. The Spinosaurus roars at anyone approaching the rails. Unfortunately, Bowler Hat Guy sprints right in front of the track zone while trying to hide behind his giant scorpion. He doesn't see Thomas. He hears the whistle too late. How do you not see him? Thomas rams at him at low speed, still 7 tons of steel. Bowler Hat Guy flies sideways, slams into a rail post, and collapses in a twitching heap. The scorpion shrieks and scales, trying to defend him, but the platforming is in chaos and loses its sight of his partner. Bowler Hat got struck by Thomas the Train during the opening scramble.
Yeah.
I feel like he could have been cool. Unfortunate.
True.
The Scorpion's now alone, clicking its pincers and retreating to the shadow stairwell. Michael Myers and Swiper disengage into access corridors without engaging. Swiper giggles, Myers silent. Warden grabs a harpoon gun and retreats into his shipping office. Sonic.exe flickers in and out of view behind him like a corrupted reflection. Cassandra's in here. Thanks.
True. She isn't.
Titan's night isn't darkness, it's strobe lighting and howling rain. Rain pelts the metal like a throwing gravel. Floodlights sputter on, illuminating long corridors where water reaches your ankles. Okabe and Dale hold up a communication shack trying to boost radio tower. Dale insists the Hive are federal agents. Okabe doesn't correct him. Paranoia is a utility. The Hive are federal agents. Those bug people, they're feds.
Don't trust them.
Delta Mary barricade a flooded locker room. Delta stands in the doorway like a statue. Mary hums softly to keep the fear away. Neff and Iron Man secure armor room. Neff immediately starts allocating resources like a business manager, a merger. Worm Queen and Echidna move deeper towards the Hive's scarred maintenance tunnel where the walls sweat black ichor. George Washington and Zaboomafilm camp near a broken aquarium dome. Washington lays in a simple trip line. Zaboomafilm steals anything that isn't nailed down, including one of Washington's own rations, which Washington pretends not to notice.
Right.
Swepper is drawn by the smell of supplies and sneaks into Aquarium Dome camp. He finds Washington's satchel and begins rummaging too loudly. Washington wakes up instantly, pistols up. Superfluous screeches and throws a wrench. In confusion, Michael Myers steps out of the shadows behind Swiper. No hurry, no emotion. Swepper tries to backpedal, trips over the tripwire Washington has set previously. Myers drives a stolen Titan pry bar down, clean and brutal. Swiper spasms once, then goes still. Washington stands still, frozen, realizing he didn't cause it, but he witnessed it. Myers looks at Washington for a good long seconds and turns and walks away. He just kills Swiper, his own colleague.
His own teammate. Yeah.
A morning announcement rolls through the loudspeakers. Lower levels are unlocked. Bulkhead doors grown open. The new zones appear. Drowned labs, methane pumping stations, and rail maintenance tunnels. Thomas begins moving slow and deliberate, pushing into the maintenance tracks that curve towards the pumping station occasionally. Spanish Rangers follows along the walkways, occasionally snapping at pipes like their prey. But a giant scorpion, now partnerless, is nested in a tight bend where the rails narrow. Blech. Thomas rounds the corner, the scorpion lunges onto the front cowcatcher, claws scraping the metal. Thomas screams his whistle, deafening the tunnel. The Spinosaurus charges in the side walkways, biting into the scorpion's back. The scorpion stings once into the Spinosaurus' shoulder. The Spinosaurus slashes, enraged, but the venom spreads fast in its scaled-down body. Thomas rams the scorpion into a tunnel repeatedly until the shell cracks and fluids spill. The scorpion falls in front of the pale gate.
That was awesome.
In front of the plate and stops moving. The Spinosaurus staggers, breathing harsh, legs wobbling. It tries to roar, only coughs and collapses. They both die.
Peace.
Thomas, now alone, still powerful, yet suddenly quieter. Rail bound and without his muscles. The corporate nightmare meets the cosmic one. In the pumping station, Iron Man and Nefanyo run to Cthulhu and John Cena. Nobody wants to fight yet. Cena plants himself in front of Cthulhu like a bouncer. Iron Man raises his repulsors, but his power meter is already low from the flight burst. Neff whispers, perhaps, and we negotiate. I have an excellent negotiation. Cthulhu emits a low-pressure wave, not madness, just crushing dread that makes the knees feel weak. Iron Man HUD glitches, Neff voice wobbles, Cena roars, move! And shoulder checks Iron Man out of the pressure zone like a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Iron Man hits the floor hard but stays conscious. Cthulhu doesn't pursue. Cena pulls his duo away, choosing dominance without overcommitting. Neff mutters, "This was unacceptable customer service." Iron Man replies, deadpan. You almost got us killed by a space squid. Jake Seed and Jess Black spot Thomas moving alone. Jake was about to take a shot, but Okaday radio tower suddenly blares loud enough to echo across the facility. The noise spooks everyone, including Jake, who lowers his aim, just curses. Thomas rolls on past, spared by timing and bad acoustics. The second night is colder. Storm outside turns the whole arcology into a drum. Mikon trembles as the keeper sharpens his blade tools on a steel tray. We should leave, she whispers. This place feels wrong. Echidna's voice, hallucinated or real, seems to be whispering through the vents. Everyone eventually dies. Mikon flinches, the keeper turns, ready to move. That's when a shape flickers at the doorway. Sonic. That's hope running everywhere, just short, unnatural bursts of speed. Warnus falls behind it, clutching the harpoon gun, breathing hard like it's like a coward trying to look brave. Mikon screams, the charger charges. The keeper charges. Sonic feints past the keeper too fast for clean A, and Warnus fires a harpoon. It wasn't meant for the keeper. It hits Mikon in the torso. She gasps, eyes wide, collapsing against the cabinet. The keeper stops, stunned for half a second. The Warnus stammers, I didn't mean to. Sonic, the EXE, leans close to Mikon, smiling wrong. Mikon tries to speak, then goes still. Keeper turns slowly towards Warnus, not rage, in certainty. The keeper takes one step forward. Mikon is dead. Mikon is dead. The keeper takes one step forward. Sonic flickers between them like a promise. Night 2 ends with everyone hearing the same distant sound to their ecology. Thomas's lonely whistle.
Yeah.
Oh, the tide surge and pressure failures. That's the event. Sirens blare as Okabe deciphers schematics and realizes which sector will flood first. We move now. This isn't a coincidence. It's a tractor field. Gale nods, gas mask already on. I knew it. It's a water psyop. They reroute through the elevated cable run, avoiding the first wave of flooding. Thus, the suit seals as water pours into the locker wing. Mary clutches a handrail, breathing, hitching. It's okay, Delta Rebels. But he doesn't say that. He can't speak. This is wrong!
God damn it. Not more accurate.
It's all for naught. Restart.
Yeah. Macaroni.
Jake Seed and Jess Black sit up on a catwalk overlooking the pumping station. And you and Iron Man. Iron Man's HUD screams warnings about as pumps overload, flight time cut in half, repulsor sparingly. Neff clutches a crate of cells. Perhaps we sell safely. Iron Man glares. You try that, I leave you. Neff smiles as if he's going to negotiate. Echidna studies pressure. He's trying to sell parts to his partner. Yeah. Echidna studies pressure readouts with delight. Fascinating. Minds fracture under drowning fear. The Worm Queen pushes forward, unfazed by water, her presence making the walls feel alive. Thomas attempts to move through the maintenance spur, only to find a rail submerged ahead. He reverses, whistles, and waits. Washington posts Zaboomafoo as a lookout near an airlock ladder. 2 tugs if water rises, 3 if enemies. Zaboomafoo immediately tugs 4 times.
Okay. What does it mean?
Myers moved through the ankle-deep flood without sound, knife held in hand. Reflections warp his shape. He looks everywhere, and it's nowhere. Water News panics as alarms echo. Sonic the EXE amused, urging him to the lower deck, where the water is rising faster. At a gantry above the sea, Cena anchors a cable to a station, keeping Cthulhu from being dragged by a surge. Big guy, we won't go swimming. A pressure wave ripples, but Cena grips hold.
Hell yeah.
Lower decks fill fast. Sonic the EXE starts ahead, unharmed by the chaos, leaving Warnus alone with the rising water. and jammed doors. Arnis pounds the bulkhead, screaming for help, but the pressure seals release inward. He's crushed against the frame, and methane water
Damn.
floods in the chamber. Sonic EXE watches from the other side, head tilted. Iron Man tries a short hover to cross a flooded shaft, and Logi throws his trajectory. He slams steel pipe, sparks flying. He recovers, but burns precious power. From the catwalk, Jess spots movement below the Worm Queen, crossing a narrow bridge as water rises. Jake fires. The shot hits the railing, not the target. Echidna snaps her gaze upwards, eyes cold. Interesting, she murmurs. Predators. The Queen withdraws into cover, unharmed but aware. Washington's route is cut by a sudden surge. Zabufa tugs twice, then three. Myers steps from the misty corridor. He remembers. Washington fires. Myers staggers, but keeps coming. Water rises to his waist. Spoonful leaps onto Myers' shoulder, shrieking, clawing his mask. Washington grabs the lemur and runs for it. Myers lets him go, choosing patience over pursuit. A pump room shakes. Delta braces. Myers loses footing at low G and drifts towards a spinning intake. Delta lunges, clamps her harness, and slams his drill into the deck to anchor them both. The rail switch flickers green. Thomas rolls forward, forcing his way through the shallow floodwater into a higher, safer spur. The gamble pays off. In the armory, Neff tries to barter power cells with Sonic.exe, offering access routes, anything. Sonic flickers behind him. The water rises, oxygen alarm screech. Neff runs, slips, drops the cells. Sonic nudges one cell away with the toad and simply watches as Neff mass fogs and his breath goes shallow. He drowns during the pressure. He abandoned Iron Man to try to sell stuff to Sonic.exe.
Yeah. Not very smart.
Tutor. Okay, he pores over half-functional time map. Patterns are forming, he mutters. So the predators, one unstoppable duo, one armored guardian. Dale adjusts his gas mask. I said we hold the train, the squid, the murder man, and the demon glitch. I said we avoid the train, sorry. Okay, pauses. That's everyone. Mary hums as Delta seals a cracked oxygen hose. Toot Daru, tight and scary, but it's kind of pretty. Delta looks at it to see. From a crane tower, Jess scans movement logs. Thomas is alone, railbound, loud. Jake considers, no, not worth the ammo. Jess raises his eyebrow. Jake's marks, blah, blah, blah. Nothing important. Washington trains Zabuma from the tuck on wires to distract motion sensors. It's about discipline, he says calmly. Zabuma steals his hat and throws it off the ledge. Tony Stark, helmet's dented from the dim, moves carefully through the machinery bay. Neff was an idiot, he mutters, but he had the cells. His suit was functional, not dormant. He knows he can't win the strategy brawl anymore. That reminds me of something I was saying a moment. Echidna scribbles notes on a forged data pad. Humans reveal everything when pressed. Fascinating. The Worm Queen presence makes the metal hum faintly. They're not rushing, they're waiting. So real quick. And when all the plants got taken away, each one got taken away for their own reasons. Each one got taken away because they thought there's something of value on every planet in Destiny. This is why they vaulted the planet in lore. So, for example, when Venus got taken away, it was taken away because it had a really good prediction engine on it. The Vex basically almost completely terraformed Venus into a Vex world. So, making it into the Infinite Forest, which is, like I said, just a supercomputer that's really good at predicting everything.
Yeah.
So the darkness took away Venus and they absorbed it. they also took away Mars because Mars had Rasputin's main armory on it,
Hmm.
and also something else. It had Mars's main armory and then some other like golden age technology, which that is just uh, because humanity, when they first went to space, they obviously went to the moon, then Mars next to like, colonize it.
Yeah,
So a bunch of like good technology still on Mars.
that makes sense.
So that's why they took away Mars, and then after Mars, there was Titan and Io. Io is not back yet. I think Io was taken away because it also was getting turned into like a Vex homeworld as well,
Hmm.
with some good technology, like alien technology.
Yeah.
Titan was taken because Asa, which is like a predecessor, a precursor to the worm gods, it's
Mm.
just basically a whale that a whale living in Titan. The worm gods were those types of whales, and the whales have this like psychic ability that controls paracausal shit. Don't know the full lore of it, but that's basically it.
Yeah.
But Sloane, when the plants got taken, everyone evacuated Mars, everyone evacuated Venus, but Io and Titan, two people or one person on each of those planets didn't leave, and that was the main vendors, like the main people on those planets.
Mm,
So
yeah.
on Titan, Sloane stayed on Titan, and she found fucking power armor on it that lasted
Shit.
years.
Yeah.
And so she just Doom Eternaled her way for like 2 years until Titan came back. And
Then.
the other dude, Asher Mir, he walks into a Vex portal and gets integrated into the Vex collective. So he's part of the Vex just as a normal human.
Well.
And they're like, oh, he's just going to surrender himself to us because he has no other options. That's, whatever. That's a smart move because it makes him technically immortal. So the Vex didn't see it as like anything weird because, the Vex would understand survival
Yeah.
and all that shit. It's like, oh, he's just surrendering to us to live forever, blah, blah, blah. But they're like, oh, no, he's just an asshole. He assimilates into the collective just to kind of go rogue immediately.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Thomas idles in a high maintenance sleep, valves hissing, no lackey, no guidance. Mars watches a quarter junction for hours. No sound, no movement, then footsteps. Cthulhu's and John Cena stand on top of a massive observation gantry. Cthulhu radiates pressure, controlled restraint. Cena moves him, keeps him moving, ground focused. If you stop, Cena says, everyone's freaked out. Cthulhu's eyes narrow. They continue on. Why is he his hype man? Washington
Yeah.
tripwire snaps. He spins, pistol race too slow. Myers emerges from the steams, knife flashing. Washington fires, it hits center mass. Myers staggers but keeps coming. Zabufo screeches and leaps on Myers' face, clawing wildly. Washington uses the opening to draw a second pistol. He has flintlock pistols in this circumstance. And fires again, hitting Myers on the shoulder. Myers slams Washington on a wall. The knife goes in once, then again. Washington collapses, blood pouring out. Zabufo screams, clawing at in pure rage. Myers pauses, then backs away. Washington lets Zabumafu one last time, says good soldier, and then dies.
Damn.
Okay. I like the title of this one, Night 5, Lemur's Revenge.
Oh,
His
shit.
Zabumafu doesn't flee, he follows, he watches.
Whoa.
When Myers pauses at storage doors, Zabumafu pulls the lever, the door slams shut, pinning Myers' arm there. Zabumafu grabs Washington's fallen pistol with both hands and shoots. It works.
What the fuck?
Myers collapses, pinned and bleeding. Zabumafu stands there, breathing hard.
Okay. Good job.
Just lines up the shot. Jake nods. They detonate charges underneath the railing. The trash collapses. Thomas derails violently, crashing into the maintenance wall. Steam erupts. Thomas screams, metal shrieking. Jess approaches cautiously. Thomas tries to reverse, but he can't. Jack steps forward, rifle steady. I'm sorry, he says, not sounding sorry at all. Blood
Yeah.
shot through the exposed engine housing. Thomas shudders, then goes still.
Right.
In the server hall, lights flicker. Sonic appears, vanishes, reappears right behind Iron Man. Tony fires blindly. Sonic the EXE slashes, damages the arc reactor housing. Tony tackles him into a rack, spark flying. Fast doesn't mean smart, he says, and overloads the repulsor at point blank range. The blast hurls Sonic.exe into a power conduit. The conduit explodes. Sonic.exe spasm, glitching violently, then freezes.
Okay.
Tony collapses to one-use circuit suit, screaming warnings. Drunk Ruby Rose is in the Grand family, right?
Drunk Ruby Rose?
Yeah.
It's just regular Ruby Rose, I thought.
Oh, I specified drunk, I thought. Versus Suicide Bomber. The Suicide Bomber just blows himself up, killing no one again.
Did Drunk Ruby Rose win?
Yeah, I thought it was,
Drunk Ruby Rose if it was her.
I thought I specified drunk, but whatever.
I can check. Maybe.
The Keeper, shot by... Oh. The Keeper steps into Jake's path with near a surgical corridor. No words, just violence. Jake fires, the Keeper shrugs off one hit, then keeps advancing. Jess flanks, fires again, the Keeper staggers, Cleaver raised. Jess fires one final shot straight to the head. The Cleaver collapses mid-stroke. Oh yeah, what?
Not as powerful as Pyramid Head.
Yeah. Okabe stares at a collapsing map. This is all convergence. All timelines lead here. Tail adjusts his mask nervously. I don't trust the squid, the wrestler, the bear lemur, or the moon itself.
All of them.
Yeah, that's basically all of them. Delta drill hums softly. His oxygen gauge blinks yellow. Mary grips his arm. We'll be okay, right? They move towards the spine lower deck, slow and deliberate. Jess scopes the upper gantries. Gantries. We hold height, we decide who lives. Jake nods, no more mercy. They settle in, rifles trained. Tony Stark limps his suit into a power alcove. Alright, girl, one good flight left. He reroutes everything, flight nearly gone, repulsors uneven, but armor integrity still reinforced. If he's going out, it won't be quiet.
Hell yeah.
Lemur clutches Washington's pistol in trembling hands. It chatters to himself, eyes darting around. Cthulhu looms over the central platform. The pressure radiates, makes knees buckle, visions blur. John Cena slams his baton into the deck. Focus, breathe, you lose control, we lose. Cthulhu exhales slowly, then the pressure eases for now. Again, just his fucking hype man.
Yeah.
Is Cthulhu John Cena's lackey?
The
other way around.
No, John Cena's Cthulhu's lackey.
Okay, that makes a bit more sense then.
Yeah.
So just burning some more stuff away. Suddenly. Zabufu scurries across a cable run and yanks a loose panel. Jake steps forward. The floor gives way. He drops one level, slamming hard against the railing. Jess fires downward instantly, but Zabufu has already moved. Jake groans, trying to rise. Zabumafu appears behind him, pistol shaking. Jake turns, bang. The shot hits Jake square in the chest. He collapses stunned, more than dead, but the fall broke his ribs. Jess screams. Zabumafu fires again. This time, Jake doesn't move.
God
Damn. He killed a U.S. Marine.
Yeah. And Michael fucking Myers.
Jess abandons cover, hunting the lemur with focused fury. She corners Bumafu on a narrow catwalk. Drop it, she snarls. Then Zabumafu freezes, then lunges sideways. Jess fires once. The bullet hits center mass. Zabumafu tumbles over the railing, disappearing into the sea below.
Damn.
That would have been cool if he won.
Yeah. He just went nuts after George Washington died.
Ever since my wife died, I've been a little bit of a sussy baka. Wasn't that the original saying?
I think so.
Just double checking. In the flood generator halls, Iron Man collides with the Worm Queen. Kidna watches from above, fascinated. The Queen lunges with writhing limbs. Tony blasts her back, armor screeching. She recovers, slamming him into a wall, cracking plating. Tony overloads his left repulsor at point-blank range. The blast tears through the Queen's upper mass. She shrieks, inhuman, furious. Iron Man staggers, power failing. The Queen rears for the kill. Precision rifle punctures through her core. Jess Black. The Worm Queen convulses, collapses, dissolves into a twitching ruin. Echidna just watches, saying data collected, and retreats. Tony slumps against the console, armor sparking. I don't know why I thought Tony from Hotline Miami for a moment.
Tony Brainrot.
Tony Brainrot. You like hurting people, don't you?
Yes.
Yes, I do. How'd you go? What did I just see? Suicide rate for seniors in the rise.
Yay!
Yay! Fireman and Jess Black lock eyes across the gantry. You killed Jake, Jess says flatly. Tony shakes his head. No, the games did. What? She knows who killed Jake, and she got revenge.
Yeah.
Iron Man gets shot by Jess. He's dead. Nothing too cool.
Right. Checks out.
Alright, this is already good. With the field thinning, Cthulhu steps forward. This time, the pressure doesn't stop. People scream, vision warp, knees buckle. John Cena charges ahead of it, grappling Delta to keep him standing. Not today! Delta braces to a roaring, holding the line. Myri clings to him, terrified but resolute. Okabe drops to one knee, clutching his head. Dale vomits in his mask.
Great.
Departure spikes again. Dale's heart gives out. He collapses beside Okabe, eyes wide. He just gets a heart attack and dies.
Great.
We haven't had one of those yet.
Yeah.
Delta charges. Drill meets flesh. The impact staggers Cthulhu. Actual blood splashes on the deck. Cena grapples Delta from the side, trying to pull him away. Stop it! You will die! Delta shoves him off and drills deeper. Cthulhu roars, real pain, real rage. Echidna watches with awe. Mary sees the pressure building. She pulls away from Delta's grasp and runs to control console. Says, Delta, thank you. She overloads the pressure dampener manually. The backlash floods the chamber with stabilizing force, but the console explodes. Mary is thrown backwards, lifeless. The pressure vanishes. Cthulhu staggers. She saves herself to save the others. Or she kills herself to save the others.
Yeah.
I need to get some firewood.
Do it.
Do it now. Actually, not down. I have 2 logs left. I do, however, need to turn off the heat. I'm probably going to go to bed after this one, though. Just a heads up.
Okay.
All remaining survivors go to the Overlook. It's a wide circular platform, cracked glass revealing the black methane sea far below. Lightning strobes the sky, railings buckles in the wind. There's nowhere left to run. Jess doesn't hesitate. She takes a firing position behind the collapsed antenna mast and lines up the biggest threat she sees, John Cena. She fires twice. Cena spins around, grazing his shoulder. He stays standing. Bad angle, he mutters and charges. Jess fires again. Miss.
Get her.
Get her ass! Try the fuck again!
Yeah.
Cena closes the distance with terrifying speed and tackles her. They roll near the platform edge. Just elbows him hard, scrambles free, and fires point blank. The shot punches through Cena's chest. He drops to one knee, coughing, looking back at Cthulhu. Finish it! Cthulhu roars, not in rage, but in grief. Cena falls backwards and still. John Cena shot and killed by Jess Black.
Yeah.
With John Cena now gone, Cthulhu no longer restrains himself. The air bends. Gravity feels wrong. Okabe collapses, clutching his head, screaming. Echidna smiles faintly. Delta plants his drill, anchoring himself. Jess fires at Cthulhu. The bullets vanish into writhing flesh. Delta charges. The drill bites deep again, tearing flesh, spraying black ichor across the deck. Cthulhu bellows in real pain. He slams Delta against the ground, repeatedly cracking armor, draining oxygen. Delta refuses to let go. They grapple at the platform edge. Monster and man lock together. Cthulhu wrenches the drill free and hurls Delta into a shallow railing. Delta crashes, spark flying. He can't rise. He tries to rise, but can't. Cthulhu brings one massive limb down. Delta goes still. Okabe staggers to his feet. Well, this isn't right. The timeline collapses. Everyone dies. He looks at the control console near the Overlook. Emergency stabilization for the platform's gravity anchors. He runs. Echidna watches him closely. Interesting choice. Okabe slams the console, rerouting power, destabilizing gravity for a second time. The platform lurches. Cthulhu stumbles just enough. Just fires again, hitting Cthulhu's eyes. Hitting one of Cthulhu's eyes, it shrieks. Echidna is thrown to her knees by the gravity shift. Okabe doesn't stop, he overclocks the system. The gravity spike throws Echidna towards a fractured section of the platform. She tries to anchor herself, too late. She slides calm even now, and she falls to the methane sea below.
Okay.
Okay. It's a bit odd. The platform stabilizes barely, but only Okabe and Cthulhu remain. Jess must have fallen off, I guess. I tried, that's why I was like, okay, because I was looking around to see if it said anything.
She's just gone.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okabe Cthulhu remain. Okabe stands, shaking his hands bleeding from the console. Cthulhu advances, wounded but immense. You cannot win, it rumbles. Okabe laughs hysterically through tears. I do not have to win, I just need to choose the right ending. He slams the final lever, the Overlook detaches, the entire platform begins to sink. Cthulhu roars and lunges forward. Okabe dives aside. Last second, the platform tilts violently. Cthulhu loses his footing, slides towards the edge. Andrew Mass too heavy to stop. It reaches out and miss. The ancient horror plunges into the black methane abyss below.
Okay.
The winner is Okabe Rintaru.